सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
मा कुरु धन जन यौवन गर्भं हरति निमेषात् कालः सर्वम् मायामयमिदम् अखिलं बुद्ध्वा ब्रह्मपदं त्वं प्रविश विदित्वा दिनयामिन्यौ सायं प्रातः शिशिरवसन्तौ पुनरायातः कालः क्रीडति गच्छत्यायुः तदपि न मुञ्चत्याशावायुः काते कान्ता धनगतचिन्ता वा तुलसीं तव नास्ति नियन्ता त्रिजगति सज्जनसङ्गतिरेखा भवति भवार्णवतरणे नौका जटिलो मुण्डीलुण्ठितकेशः काषायाम्बर बहुकृतवेषः पश्यन्नपि च न पश्यति मूढः स्युदरनिमित्तं बहुकृतवेषः अङ्गं गलितं फलितं पुण्डं दशनविहीनं जातं तुण्डम् वृद्धो याति गृहीत्वा दण्डं तदपि न मुञ्चत्याशापिण्डम्
Bhaja Govindam, also known as Moha Mudgara, which we have been studying till now. Moha Mudgara means delusion remover, delusion lifter, destroyer of delusion. Moha Mudgara means destroyer of that which destroys delusion. The aim, the purpose of Bhaja Govindam is conversion program. It is interested in conversion. Conversion to become a mumukshu. How to convert a human being to turn into a mumukshu. Mumukshatva, you have to have that, that thirst. That how to develop mumukshatva into a human. How to bring this mumukshatva into a human being is the theme of Bhaja Govindam, for which he gives various arguments. Because it is Moha Mudgara, you will not find any softness in the tone. Because you can't take a hammer and be soft, isn't it? If you take a hammer and blow the head, you have to have that kind of a... So you find in Bhaja Govindam, there is no softness in the tone of Shankaracharya. He continues to hammer, hammer. What is the hammer? the urgency of the situation. He's hammering because he is seeing an urgency. Okay, we don't see an urgency. We are fast. We are fast asleep. We don't see any urgency. We are happy where we are. More or less, it's okay, sir. Here and there, small problems are there. That's all. Otherwise, more or less, life is okay only. Not in the way that Shankaracharya is blowing it up and all. It's not that bad. He says, no, you are caught up in this delusion. Because you are caught up in this delusion, it doesn't seems to be so. Therefore, the very Bhaja Govindam is moha mudgara. And you didn't find anything pleasant till now. Because he was not being very pleasant at all, we took a long break. Isn't it? So let us take some break from hammer and get all the energies and come back only to get hammered again. So the hope was after so much of hammering, nobody will come back, isn't it? In the sense, mumukshatva would have developed. That's all. What I meant is mumukshatva would have developed, and nobody will come back. Now that we are back again, we'll continue to get hammered. Moha mudgara. This moha is also called as samsara. This moha is also known as samsara. That's where we left last. Where we left last is verse number 10. That's where he spoke about. Samsara. Vayasi gade kaha kama vikaraha, sushke nire kaha kasaraha, kshine vitte kaha parivaro, jnate tattve kaha samsaraha. Where is samsara? Where is the samsara for this person? When knowledge of reality arises, where is samsara? So the question then it boils down to what is samsara? Samsara means to go round and round and round. That's the meaning of the word samsara. You go round and round and round. Revolve. Going through round and round and round without any obstruction whatsoever. That is called samsara. Moha mudgara is an obstruction to samsara. He is bringing in a speed breaker to the samsara. Samsara technically is a shortened word for samsarana. That's the actual word. Because of grammatical things and all that, it's so easy to repeat. So it is shortened to samsara. A passage through monotonous existence without any doubt whatsoever and getting carried away by the drop of honey. That is samsara. What is getting carried away by the drop of honey means? Narayana, you remember that story, isn't it? What is getting carried away by the drop of honey? There's the tiger that is climbing the tree. And there is the python that is coming. There is the python that is coming down. There is a tiger that is climbing up. And the branch is bending towards the river. And there is a crocodile. And there is a crocodile waiting with the mouth open. Meaning no chance of escape. That's what it means. No chance of escape. The choice you have is what? 3 choices you have. What are the 3 choices you have? crocodile, tiger, python. Fourth choice. Yeah, the three choices that you have is either you choose tiger and fall on the tiger, or leave the branch and fall into the mouth of the crocodile, or just keep hanging. Python will come and take you. In this existence, the honeybee got disturbed and a drop of honey fell. At that time, the human being sticks the tongue out and says, what? This is samsara. Tiger is waiting, crocodile is waiting, python is few inches away, but he doesn't see it at all. That is samsara. Mundane existence caught up in the delusion. What is the delusion? That drop of honey that you are going to get is the moha. That drop of honey that you are going to get from somewhere. And there are so many things that gives you a hope that I will give you that honey. I am that honey. That's why we call each other honey, no? Isn't it? Honey, honey, they say, isn't it? Whenever you remember honey, remember crocodile. Don't remember the honey. Forget the honey. Remember the crocodile, tiger, and python. Honey amidst that. Honey, not an escape from that. Even before you have recognized the taste of the honey, you are gone. Even before you can recognize the taste and enjoy that, you're gone. Aimless drifting, aimless wandering, coming back, hoping for another drop of honey, coming back, another drop of honey, punarjanma, again and again and again. In this janma, we go from one to the other. If not in this janma, janma to karma. This is samsara. The idea of samsara will always accompany with the idea of moksha. For moksha, you have to be a mumukshu. Otherwise, you can't get. For moksha, you have to be a mumukshu. Mumukshatva. Mumukshu means one who has mumukshatva. How much ever the tiger is waiting, the crocodile is waiting, the python is nearing, the honey is always attractive. So, honey is always attractive. You can get beaten up again and again and again. You can get insulted again and again and again. You can get disillusioned again and again and again. But the human being wakes up with same hope. The same hope for another drop. What is the samsara means? Now samsara means very clear. Samsara means very simple. Samsara means to live as the body. Samsara means to live as the ego. Samsara means to believe that you are the body. Samsara means to believe in the existence of the ego, the matter. Samsara means comfortable with lifeless objects and beings. Samsara is comfort with, samsara is nothing but a comfort with corpse. The lifeless bodies around. Comfortable with that is called samsara. And how much ever they talk about the samsara in moha mudgara way, we will not yield, because the honey is always the hope. You follow? The honey is always the hope. Samsara means to live in the body. Samsara means to believe in. Samsara means to believe in the body, to live in the body. When you are living in the body, believing in the body, believing in matter, what you will associate with? You will associate with matter only. So it's all lifeless. Nothing around you has any life. But you have to imagine that there is, life. Everything is so beautiful, sir. Butterfly is flying, sunrise, sunset, isn't it? All the way from here, the fellow will go to see the sunset, sunrise in some distant place. The fellow living there doesn't see the sunrise nor the sunset, isn't it? Even this time, in London, they asked, sir, do you want to go to museum? I said, in Chennai museum, I have not visited. Why will I come to London and visit a museum there? What is all the way to go to the museum for what there? Isn't it? There is a museum. There's a museum here. I'm not interested. Why will I come there? To believe, to get carried away by your own notions of joy of life. You give your own notions of joy. You give your own notions of happiness to life and then get disappointed. You will get disillusioned. Why? Because matter cannot give you that. It's not the fault of the world. It is not the fault of the matter. It is your fault. It is your fault. Because you fantasize. See, has any butterfly fantasized human being sitting and watching it? Huh? Has any lion or tiger fantasized human beings are watching us? Why does human being alone do that? We all have aesthetic sense. We are all artistic people. We have aesthetics. We have this. We have that. And then at the end of the day, sitting and crying for nothing. This is called samsara. And the samsara is a very peculiar problem for human being. Samsara is a very peculiar problem of human being only. Not only it is one human being problem, it is a problem of every human being, all human beings. So, therefore, all of us are in the same level of existence. Somebody comes and says exactly the opposite of. What is the problem of samsara? The problem of samsara is raga, kama, raga, shoka, moha. Idella samsara. Kama, raga, dvesha, shoka, moha. This is samsara. Kama means wanting that you don't have. Kama is craving for that you don't have. Raga is dependent on what you have. Kama is craving for that you don't have. That's called desire. Desire is about that which you don't have and you want. You don't have it and you want it. Not having it is problematic, suffering. And if you have it, you believe you will be happy. That is called karma, isn't it? What is karma means? Not having it is very painful. Imagine not only you don't have it, somebody else has it. Narayana, what will happen there, isn't it? What will happen? Not only you want it, you won't have it. Some got that. This is called karma. And then something the human being does and get it. After getting it, karma goes, raga comes. What does raga means? A dependency, a attachment, craving for what you don't have and attachment to what you have. See, attachment means dependency. That's all. What is attachment? Attachment is nothing but a dependency. So craving, dependency. Kama, raga. The third one of samsara is Vesha, hatred. Naturally, kama and raga will have to necessarily become dvesha, hatred. It's a natural byproduct. See, wherever you have kama and raga, it's a question of time. Dvesha will come. Whether you understand or don't understand, accept or don't accept it, about which you have kama and raga, necessarily you will develop dvesha at some point in time. So kama, raga, naturally to dvesha. Kama and raga makes you get too close. Kama and raga makes you get too close, that you go and hug so tightly. The moment you go and hug so tightly, it becomes obnoxious. Dvesha comes. That's all it is. Why do you have to go and hug so tightly? Kama and raga. Okay, when you go and hug so tightly, the object and being also hugs you in return. Ideal relationship made for each other. What is that? Something, some name they say, no? Made for something they say. Some name they say for that. I don't know, whatever that name is. Made for ideal relationships, sir. Very soon, that ideal relationship will turn into pointing guns at each other. That is dvesha. So kama, raga necessarily will metamorphose, necessarily will become dvesha. Therefore, not to get too much burdened by all this, the method they say is don't get too close. Don't get close. Don't get close. Don't go and hug anything. Don't go and get too suffocatingly close with anything. But the intensity of kama and raga will not prevent you. You cannot avoid it. You will simply go and fall and get into dvesha. The moment this kama, raga, dvesha, what happens? Shoka comes. Kama, raga, dvesha is not going to be ananda. Yeah. Follow? Kama, Narayana, you follow? No. Kama, raga, dvesha will not result in ananda, will result in shoka. Raga means depending on people or situations to be happy. Depending on situation or some situation or some people is necessary to make me happy. I don't want to say that. As long as dependency is there, there is danger. Any form of dependency is dangerous. Dangerous, vulnerable for shoka. Dangerous to what? Vulnerable to what? To this shoka. What is the shoka now? A small change in the situation or the person is enough to upset you completely. A small change. And by nature it changes. By law it is changing. By law, it is changing, isn't it? By law, everything changes. The object of raga will keep changing. That which you are attached to yesterday, you will not be attached to today. At one point of time, you will be attached to wealth. After having gotten wealth, wealth will not be that attractive. Power. Wealth I have, sir, but no power. At another point of time, power will be there. But somebody else is also growing simultaneously in power. Now what will happen? That's what happens to Puranic stories talks about Indra getting irritated and jealous when somebody starts doing tapas. When somebody starts doing tapas, Indra gets jealous and frustrated. Why? Because somebody is becoming powerful now. And so it means what? As I'm trying to retain my power, I have to ensure that I tempt the other to make a mistake so that that fellow loses the power. Therefore, what? Indra will send Kolatur. Indra will send whom? Yeah. Menaka on Chuduvar. He will send Menaka to go and dance. And Vishwamitra, Raga, that Kama, Raga, Dvesha, cyclically going through this is samsara. Cyclically going through this and not learning anything out of it and shifting to somebody else, shifting to some object, shifting to some being, cyclically going through this. So now work backwards. Wherever there is shoka, you understand what? Wherever there is shoka, sorrow, you understand a person is a victim of kama, raga, dvesha. So in that shoka state of existence, in that shoka state of mind, moha comes. What is moha now? In that state of mind of shoka, what to do, what not to do, you don't know. You will not know what to do, what not to do. What is right, what is wrong, you will ignore. Dharma, adharma, right, wrong, what to do, what not to do, everything goes out of the window. And just do something so powerfully driven by the kama, raga, dvesha, comes back. When they experience the consequence of moha, what is consequence of moha now? Shoka is frustration, agitation. Out of that frustration and agitation and conflict, moha. What is moha? What to do, what not to do, what is right, what is wrong, what is dharma, what is adharma. None of this will matter because emotions sweep, the emotions simply take over. And then you make a choice. What is the consequence of it? Cycle, the chakra, you are in Naraka, make a mistake in Naraka and extend your stay in Naraka. So extension of Naraka. Shoka is Naraka. And then in that state, you make a choice, you do something and extend the Naraka. The entire scriptural knowledge is the samsara nivritti. It's called samsara nivritti, shoka nivritti, moha nivritti. For the samsara should go, for this moha should go, for this shoka to go, you need mumukshatva. Shankaracharya is hammering us so that we will develop mumukshatva. How much ever you are hammer proof, don't worry. It's a question of time. That's all. Everybody has to develop this mumukshatva. It's a question of time. That's all. This janma or next janma or 10 janmas later. But it is a question of time. Therefore, might as well Correct. Might as well do it now only and be done with it. Yeah, correct. Might as well do now and be done with it. Mumukshatva means independence from samsara, independence from the world. That is called mumukshatva. Mumukshatva means independence from the world. It means you will be happy irrespective of the presence or absence. Irrespective of the presence or absence, you can be happy. That is mumukshatva. Conducive situation, non-conducive situation. Your stability remains. Therefore, you can do some deeper penetrative inquiry about life. You can do some deeper penetrative inquiry about life, you can do. What is the deeper penetrative inquiry about life? The question of what is this samsara? What is the cyclical thing? Getting caught up in the cyclical thing again and again and again. Is there any? What is the ways and means to get out of it? What is the ways and means to get out of it? Okay. What is samsara? There are so many beautiful songs that talks about the samsara. That there are so many songs that talks about the samsara. He says, there is one of the Guru song. There are so many songs. There is one of the Guru song. It's a Tamil song. Most of the people those who are interested in the Carnatic music will know this song. It's a very famous Guru song. In that song, he says, what is the samsara? Govinda, Krishna fall off to sleep. Gossip, eyes are wide awake. That is called samsara, he says. Rama, Krishna, Govinda, the fellow will fall off to. Correct, huh? Anybody remembers this song? Beautiful song it is. You say that you go on the whole day that you can sit and indulge and gossip and talk. You will not get tired. You will not feel sleepy. The moment you start the name of the God, the higher, immediately the samsara. This is called samsara. To that person, Juju, it's okay. That fondling, caressing, affectionate talk and all doesn't work. Shankara resorts to the other method. What is the other method? Take the hammer and blow the head. Yes. Take the hammer and break the head into pieces. Only thing that Shankara didn't understand is our head is like Ravana's head, isn't it? How much ever he breaks it, it connects and goes back to the Ravana's head. Rama was shooting arrows after arrows after arrows, and the head, and he had 10 heads, isn't it? 10 heads na countless head in artham. 10 not that literal. 10 not that literal 10, countless. And why 10? 10 supposing they had 12 fingers, he would have said 12 heads. 15 fingers, he would have said 15. Because you don't count. No. What else do you count? Up to 10 you can count. And then what will you do? Again, you come back to 10 plus 1 only, isn't it? So 10 heads means countless heads. And how he keeps on shooting. Arrow after arrow after arrow he's shooting. And the heads are new head is coming again and again and again. Ravana is not getting tired, Rama is getting tired now. Isn't it? Ravana is not getting tired, Rama is getting tired. Don't be like the Ravana's head. That's all he said. Don't be like don't have the head like the Ravana. Let it break. This is Bhaja Govindam up to verse number 10. Yes.
So you say that the studies should bring about a change at the samskara level. So what is samskara? And can we say at a relative plane samsara or the opposite samskara? Can we say like that?
The knowledge, the clarification. The knowledge should bring a change at the core of your personality. Samskara. Samskara means at the vasana level, the knowledge should bring a change at the core of the personality. When the knowledge brings a change at the core of the personality, it is called mumukshatva.
Samskara is?
Samskara means vasana level. At the core, the very core of you, the very essence of you, the very core of you. And why do we call it a samskara? Because you have to do lot of good things to come here. It doesn't come naturally. You have to do lot of karmas. You have to do so many things to come there. What he is going to talk about later is antaranga sadhana, bahiranga sadhana, all that is going to talk about later in Bhaja Govindam. Or doing all this is what will bring a change at the core of your personality. You will become a mumukshu. He is only trying to inspire, motivate to do the bahiranga, antaranga sadhana to become a mumukshu. You need energy to continuously do action. You need energy. Understanding is supposed to give you that energy to go back and do the sadhanas properly. Understanding is for what? Understanding will give you energy, the strength, the motivation, so that you can go back and do the sadhana. Because this understanding is lacking, there is no energy for sadhana. There is no motivation for sadhana. There is no energy, there is no motivation for sadhana. Isn't it? It's very interesting. Nobody will ask how much time I should indulge. Everybody will ask how much time I should pray, isn't it? How much time should I pray, sir? Half an hour, 1 hour, 10 minutes, 25 minutes? Will anybody turn back and ask how many times I should? How many? What is the duration of indulgence that I should go through? In the middle of indulgences and all, when you feel guilty because of your indulging too much, do little bit of prayer to feel good and go back to correct. Go back to indulgence again. You are indulging and indulging and indulging. In the midst of indulgences, there's a sense of guilt also comes. In that, to overcome the sense of guilt, go back to prayer. It means our activities are very shallow. Our activities are very, very shallow. Involvement in the samsara is, therefore, change will not happen at the core of the personality. In order to bring a change in the core of the personality, to fight the kama, raga, dvesha, you need energy to do actions continuously. Because every shoka is a dilemma of dharma and adharma. See, shoka, what is the shoka? Shoka is the dilemma. What is the dilemma? Convincing you that adharma is right. That's why when a person is in shoka, they will say philosophy and all will not help, sir. I don't know, then what else will help? Shoka is the dilemma. Actually, it's not a dilemma at all. Shoka is kind of ulta clarity, convincing you that adharma is Adharma is right. Why? I have been so dharmic all along, I am in shoka, no? Look at the logic of the mind. I have been dharmic, sir. I am in shoka now. How is it possible? Even if you have been swalpam apyasya dharmasya rayade mahado bhaya. Even if you have been doing this little bit, swalpam, kinchit, he says swalpam, little bit if you have done, you will not go through this. Swalpam apyasya dharmasya rayade mahato bhaya. Little bit of this if you have practiced, you will not be going through all these things. The fact that you are going through all these things means you are still a victim of kama, raga, dvesha. Now, when you are a victim of kama, raga, dvesha, you can misunderstand that to be dharmic. That's your problem. But the law of life doesn't change. Therefore, what it will do, it will create shoka. When you are in shoka, your mind will tell you what? Maybe all this dharma and all worked in the past, sir. In the modern day, it won't work. Only adharma works. I don't know in which era dharma worked, adharma didn't work. Or adharma worked. But we have our own notions. We have our own understanding. You follow what I'm saying? Why this kama, raga, dvesha, they talk about so much is because it convinces you that it is okay to be adharmic. It convinces you because so much of energy and is required to be in dharma. Why? Situations are changing, people are changing. According to you, if you are dharmic means situation should not change. I'm a very dharmic person, sir. How can I get old age? Where is it said dharmic person will not get old age? Isn't it? I'm a very dharmic person, sir. I'm having arthritis pain. How will a dharmic person and arthritis pain? What is the connection? Commissioner said, yeah, there's no connection. You will get. As long as the body is there, disease will come. What is the connection to dharma and this? You follow? If I am dharmic means all this will not happen to me. I loved the person so much, sir. The person just dumped me. What has that got to do? Just because you love the person, is that a guarantee? Is that a rule that the other person should not dump you? No, no. If I dump, it's all right, sir. If the other dumps, not acceptable. Anga got a double standard, isn't it? If I dump, of course, it's natural. If the other is dumping me, that is other mixer. Therefore, what will convince you to become adharmic? To do adharma is correct, shoka. Or suddenly the person will bring in social problems now, isn't it? Somewhere something happened to that person, somewhere something happened to this person, this is happening there, that is happening there. You look at the world, no good things is happening at all, isn't it? No good things is happening. Therefore, shoka convinces you what? To be adharmic. Conviction is to be adharmic, but verbally the person talks dharma. Are you able to follow? It means a person has not done any good karma at all in life. Deep down, adharma is the conviction, but verbally they talk about dharma, isn't it? Yesterday, day before, I was coming back by auto. The last 2-3 days, I'm taking autos up and down. Because I don't know when I am falling off to sleep. Yeah, so better to take an auto and fall off to sleep than driving and falling off to sleep. One fellow came back. The way he was talking about his wealth and what all he has, I was about to give the appeal letter, Narayanji. Huh? I was about to call you and say, please talk to this man and give the appeal letter to him. I am this, I am that, aeronautical engineer, something. I'm like, I'm looking at him, looking at the auto, looking at myself, not knowing what is happening here. Huh? Delusion. I was like real moha, it was like. Got down. Yeah. For 20 rupees extra கொடுங்க sir. He said, give me 20 rupees extra. I was about to ask you for a free ride. Yeah, I was about to ask you, Dharma pannu pa, Dharma pannu illiyo. Yeah, because just now I'm coming back. They gave me one big appeal letter. Now they gave me. I thought I met a very good auto fellow. I thought I will start not from you. What is the verbal talk and what is the conviction? It's two opposite things. Are you able to follow? It's two opposite things. The convictions are separate, but the way they verbalize is separate, isn't it? Exactly like this. The fellow writes a poem on love. The fellow writes a poetry on love. And you think that fellow knows what love is, isn't it? The fellow writes a beautiful poetry on love. Reading that poem, you think that guy knows everything about love. Poor fellow doesn't know the spelling of love, but still he can write poetry on love. That is the drama of life. That is the drama of life. You follow? Samskara means, you understand what is samskara? If something trayate mahato bhayat. Swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Little bit of this dharma, if you have practiced, fluctuations will not happen to you. Fluctuations will not happen to you. What is a fluctuation? Situations change. The person loving you today need not love you tomorrow. And when they change, you continue to remain grateful and you continue. If the other person changes, so what? What has that got to do with you loving that person? What has that got to do with you loving that person? No, sir. It doesn't work like that. It has to be correct. It has to be a two-way journey, sir. I am loving and sitting and crying here in misery, and that fellow is happy there. I don't know. Huh? You want? Oh, Mudgar. That capacity to be independent. The capacity to be independent. How do you know that you have become independent? Endless reservoir of energy to be in dharmic situations. You will never have the conflict of dharma and adharma. Or even when there is a conflict of dharma and adharma, you have the strength because you are not in shoka. Because you are not in shoka, the dilemma itself doesn't come. What is the dilemma? Dharma and dharma. Is it okay? This called? It means it means you are going through every time you are putting yourself into the fire and coming out unburnt. Every time you get into fire and come out unburnt. You have done lot of samskara, isn't it? Only Sita could do that, no? Only Sita could enter into fire and come out unburnt. What a power it is, what a strength, what a power, what a capacity it is for a person to get into fire and come out untouched by. Is there anything that fire cannot touch. She came out, isn't it? Samskara. Trayate mohado bayat. Get into fire. That's all, no big deal. She got into, that's all, big deal. Oh, who are you to get clear? Our Shoka will bring in politics to all this. For Sita, she didn't have any problem at all, isn't it? I always say this. Everybody else had a problem with Rama. One person who should have had an actual problem is Sita, isn't it? Rama told Sita, get into fire. Who should have had the actual problem? Sita. Even today, everybody else has problem with Rama. Rama and Sita, they are still very happy, isn't it? We are sitting and fighting. They are very, something is so beautiful, something is so distinct and different. You follow what I'm saying? Samskara it is. If you have done this good, what is good thing? Right now, you will go through shoka. Right now, you will be in shoka. Whatsoever the reason for your shoka is, how much ever your ego, the world around you, convinces you to be to get adharmic because of shoka, you say no. That is fire. You say no to adharma. Whatsoever the situation is, I say no to adharma. And when you say no to adharma, it feels like something is eating you up from inside. It eats you up from inside. And everybody around you also will call you a fool. Everybody around you will call you a fool. You yourself will start thinking that you are a fool. But then, that is the fire. I will stick to not to be a victim of kama, raga, vesha. Dharma, adharma, don't go by your own notions. Dharma, adharma, especially in this country, it's better not to talk about dharma, adharma, because everybody knows what is dharma and what is adharma. Politics, according to this country, politics is dharma, and because everything will convert it into a political problem. Yeah. Political problem will be a gender problem, isn't it? Either political problem or convert it into a gender problem. Endlessly you can keep debating. But one thing you will not do is what? I am a victim of kama, raga, dvesha. That is dharma. Accepting that you are a victim of kama, raga, dvesha is dharma. Again, I repeat, dharma means an acceptance that you are a victim of kama, raga, dvesha. And an effort you make not to be a victim of kama, raga, dvesha. When you make an effort not to be a victim of kama, raga, dvesha, that is the fire. That's the fire. That's the fire. And you will be able to deal with it right. You follow what I'm saying? Samsara. Na? I said 5 things I said today samsara. Kama, raga, dvesha. Kama, raga, dvesha. This kama, raga, dvesha will necessarily cause shoka. Kama, raga, dvesha creates a moha that situations are under your control. Again, I repeat, the moha. This kama, raga, dvesha creates a weird mental state. The situations are under your control. Everything is under my control, sir. Yeah. Everything is under your control. Then the reality strikes you. What is the reality? that nothing is under your control. The situations are not under your control. The thing that you depend upon deserts you. The thing that you are depending upon simply deserts, isn't it? It may be money, it may be job, it may be people, something, but it will desert you. If anything is not available, when you are deserted, shoka, depression. That's where you get depressed. Shoka. Shoka or depression creates a stubbornness in the mind that unless I get what I want, I will not move. Stubbornness it will create. That's why depression is nothing but a stubborn mind. Depression, they take a whip and whack the mind, that's all. Don't whack the others, whip your mind. Yeah. Depression is nothing but a stubborn mind. Till I get what I want, I will not move. Will sit stubbornly in one corner, looking at the ceiling. அப்போ என்ன பண்ணும்? What to do then? Yeah, take the whip and take the whip. That's why I'm having the whip in my hand all the time, sir. Because everybody around is depressed, I'm whipping them. It is self-whip. Yeah, you kick yourself out of this inactive state. That is adharma. What is adharma? Getting into an inactive state because of kama, raga, dvesha not being fulfilled is adharma. Are you able to follow? What is adharma? Getting into an inactive state. What is that inactive state? Not doing what I ought to do. Are you able to follow? What is adharma? Not doing what I ought to do because of my kama, raga, dvesha is because kama, raga, dvesha, being a victim of this kama, raga, dvesha makes me convinced that me avoiding doing what I ought to do is legitimate. Isn't it? They believe it is legitimate. Yeah. First thing it will start. Yeah, first thing. Nowadays, everywhere you go, universal problem. First problem. What is a universal first problem? 2 days, 3 days also people don't take baths, sir. 2 days, 3 days also they don't shower. They will not change the clothes, they will not shower. Depression. We say, have you? I ask, yes, sir. Then sit. Otherwise, you also sit 10 feet away. What else can you do? You follow? Even the minimal thing. What is the minimal thing that you have to do? What is the minimal dharmic thing that you have to do? Yeah, shower. That itself the mind will not allow you to do. You know that? That itself it will not happen. Just simply sit. Stubborn. Adharma it is. Adharma, we think adharma means stealing, raping, not doing what you ought to do everyday thing itself is adharma. Because I have a genuine conviction. I believe that I can legitimately avoid all this. Why? Because I am in pain. I am in depression. I am in depression. So what? So what if you are in depression? Yeah. Long back, he gave that example. If somebody is dead, you know how you should be? Wake up, crying, wake up. Crying, light the stove. Crying, boil the milk. Crying, have your coffee. Yeah. Depression, don't sit in one corner waiting for somebody to make your coffee. That's what he's saying. Even in depression, get up and make your own. Even in depression, get up and make your own That is adharma. Are you able to follow what is dharma and adharma? It convinces you that you don't have to do anything. Energy is required. Strength is required to motivate yourself back into action. Energy is required. Strength is required to motivate yourself to get back into action, isn't it? Body is not cooperating, sir. If body is not cooperating, have the courage to drop the body, go to the fresh body and start. Where is the problem? But activity should not stop. Body is not cooperating. Na? Drop the body, get a fresh body and start acting. Now, what does it mean? Die doing what you are supposed to do. At least you will get a better. At least you will be in a. At least the next will be something better than this. Kama, raga, vesha will result in shoka. Shoka justifies adharma, and you make a choice, moha. All this combined in one word is called samsara. All this combined in one word is called samsara. Vayasi gate kaha kama vikaraha sushke neere kaha शीने वित्ते कह परिवारो ज्ञाते तत्वे कह संसारः. Jnate tattve. Yeah. You have known it. The tattva means the essence. Tattva means you have known. You have known the truth, the essence, the vital, the important. You have known. Tattva means, refer verse number 16, 17, chapter 2, Bhagavad Gita. Nasato vidyate bhavaha, nabhavo vidyate sadaha, ubayorapi drishtontaha, tvanayoho tattvadarshibhihi. One of the beautiful definitions of tattva he gives in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, 16, 17. Nasato vidyate bhavaha, nabhavo vidyate sadaha. The sat and asat, bhava, abhava, that's all. The sat and asat, bhava and abhava, that's all. Where is your problem, he is asking. What is your problem, he is asking. Asato vidyate bhavaha, na bhavo vidyate sataha, ubayorapi drishtontaha. Drishtontaha means one who has seen it very clearly. Drishtanta it is. Ubayorapi drishtontaha, tvanayoho tattvadarshibhihi. Tattvadarshibhihi means the one who has seen the scene. They seen the tattva. They seen the jnate tattve kaha samsaraha. For those who has seen that tattva, for those who has seen that tattva, where is samsara? Where is kama? Where is raga? Where is dvesha? Where is shoka? Where is moha? None of this exists. None of this exists. The four epigrams. Verse number 10. Is it okay? There is one clarification. Clarification. You said the emotions we get into due to our desire, expectations, etc. makes us not think, and therefore we get more deluded. Correct. What is the way to get out of emotions? There must be a trick. What is the way to quickly recover and remember the knowledge at that time? Mala. And the trick is only good. இல்லையா? இந்த மாதிரி லெக்சர் வாரா, week after week after week, decades after decades after decades, don't keep giving lectures. Give me that. Something they know, something there, இல்லையா? Something they know. That trick. There must be a trick. Welcome back, Mala. Yeah, there must be a trick. What is the trick by which I can get out of these emotions very fast? You can never get out of these emotions very fast. Impossible it is, because of the viryam, because of the vega, because of the vega and viryam of the emotions. You cannot get out of it faster. You can temporarily distract. Again, I repeat, you can temporarily distract yourself, which is what everybody in the world does. I'm not saying it's the right method. I'm only saying it is very difficult to get out of these emotions faster because of the viryam. The strength of it is, and also the vega, the viryam, the vega of it is so much that very difficult for a person to hold. Therefore, what do? Temporarily, there are temporary methods. Distractions are the temporary methods. Wherever you get distracted, you are pushing it under the carpet. Wherever you get distracted, you are pushing it under the carpet. It's going to bounce back with greater intensity. You are pushing it into the subconscious, technically speaking. Whenever you distract yourself, you are pushing it into the subconscious. That's how you give more vega to it. That's how you give more vega to it. You give more viryam to it. And distraction seems to be a method that works. I'm not saying you should not, but it doesn't work in the long run. So what is the trick that people do? Get distracted. That's why they say, distract yourself, distract yourself, distract yourself. Korean show, isn't it? Korean show becomes the distraction. What else can you do? You can only distract. And when you are distracting, you are not eliminating it, you are pushing it under. It means next time it's going to come more. So what is the trick? There is only one trick. The trick is this. Every time remember to be bold and courageous and say, I am a victim of kama, raga, dvesha. That is the trick. That is the trick. Be courageous. Be bold enough. Be courageous enough and say, I am a victim of my kama, raga, dvesha. At least that's what I do. Be bold enough. Be courageous enough and say, I am a victim of kama, raga, dvesha. And never justify it. Never give legitimacy to the shoka. So the trick is what? The moment you start taking responsibility, remembrance happens very fast. Responsibility means remembrance. Remembrance of knowledge will not come through reading more and more, listening more and more. Remembrance of the knowledge will not come through that. Remembrance of the knowledge will come through taking responsibility. So what is the trick? The trick is to take responsibility. What is the responsibility? I am a victim of kama, raga, dvesha. That's why we call it as the practice of introspection every day. One of the days we are going to talk about all that. Mala. We'll talk about all that later. Antaranga sadhana, Bahiranga sadhana, Varmbodhala, we'll be discussing it. where when you accept it, when you accept that I am a victim of Kama, Raga, Dvesha, you become free from it. The way to freedom is very tricky. The way to freedom is to accept responsibility. Throwing responsibility on the other is throwing away freedom. When you throw responsibility on the other, you have lost an opportunity to become free. Remember this. That's the trick. What is the trick? Take responsibility. You follow? Throwing away responsibility means throwing away an opportunity for freedom. Accept. I am a victim of Kama, Raga, Vesha. Not only I know that I am a victim of Kama, Raga, Dvesha, the Shastras has given me a method to get out of Kama, Raga, Dvesha also. Not only I am a victim, not only I know the disease, I know the medicine also. The cure also I know. Not only I know the disease, I have the cure. Not only I have the diagnosis of the disease, I have the prescription also. Prescription means medicines. Medicines nale? Yeah. How much ever sugar coated it is medicine only. How much ever you coat it with sugar, medicine will be a medicine only. You follow? That's where the Shastras and the Gurus of their compassion, not only they give not only they do the diagnosis, they also give the prescription. In fact, prescription kaila irukra தைரியத்துல தான் they are diagnosing it so much. They are able to diagnose our diseases so much and explain to us and help us only because they have the prescription on hand. You follow, Mala? There is the trick. There is the trick. The trick is to accept responsibility. For my shoka, my kama, raga, dvesha alone is responsible. For my shoka, my kama, raga, dvesha alone is responsible. Is it okay, ma? Yeah. It's very difficult to accept it. It is difficult to accept it, but take the plunge and accept it for a few times, and you see how liberated you become. Just for a few times, you take responsibility and see, you become so liberated you become. Follow? Yes, Mala. We'll take up your clarification and conclude. Chalunga.
I get into problem when a difficult situation comes and I throw my emotions. And now you're saying, fine, I accept that I've had some desires that led me to these emotions.
Yes.
To cool myself, to bring calmness in me. However,
yes.
The situation will remain the same.
Correct.
I may not, I don't have control to change the situation, but is it ever possible for a common person like me to remain stable even in that bad situation? Because others will understand as if, I am accepting my mistake and therefore it's my mistake.
Correct.
I mean, in the worldly level mistake, people will think that I have committed the mistake.
Correct. They will think like
in the spiritual level, it may not be my mistake, but it's only my desire.
Correct.
But then how to put down others, because they will continue to insult me, or they will continue to, that is easy. I mean, that also needs to be eased.
Yes. That is not under your control, 110%. You cannot do anything about it whatsoever. Because in order to do that, I need to go into the mind of the other, which is not possible. Thank God, God didn't give us that power. One to enter into the mind of the other. If only God has given the power that one can enter into the mind of the other, Narayana, what will happen? Imagine 8 billion Ravanas entering into other Ravanas, what will happen? Thank God, Narayana, God is so great. He's so, from where he, all-knowing, real all-knowing, avarda. Yeah, real all-knowing, God is, he knows what will happen. Therefore, God didn't give us that. God didn't give us that opportunity at all. What is that opportunity? We don't have that possibility at all. Root learn, it is removed. What is the possibility? To go into another's mind and change. We cannot do it. And thank God we cannot, thank God they cannot do it. Thank God we cannot do it. Because if I can do it to other, I should also accept somebody can do it to me. Abdina, how much ever dharmic I try to become, somebody can influence me always to be adharmic. Then what are we even talking? Are you able to follow? Mala. Therefore, the other will continue to belittle, insult, put you down. ரொம்ப வேர்ல்ட்லி லெவலில் சொன்னால பேக் மாதிரி இருக்கும் இல்லையா? I don't know how to translate beku into Hindi and English. I'm not sure. I don't know that. I don't know how to convert beku. Beku என்ன வார்த்தை? Tamil. I don't know what language it is also. But one thing is very
Useless. Beku
இல்லை
means useless.
இல்லை சரியான பேக்கு அப்படிதான் இருக்கும் பார்த்தாக்கா. Still you are all right. So till now I am talking English, is it? Now only my system is giving me a warning. You have switched to your language. Do you want to continue the language itself? ஒரு வார்த்தை தான் சொன்ன, பேக்குன்னு ஒரு வார்த்தை சொன்ன, அவ்வளவுதான், isn't it? Now my system is asking, do you want to change your different language? If you do that, it will be like that in the eyes of, in the eyes of others, it will be like that. In the eyes of others, Sita looks like a beku, no? Isn't it? Sita should have fought for her rights, no? Isn't it? யாரோ சொல்றாருன்றதுக்கோசரம், how can she simply walk into it? How can she even do that? சரியான, and how can she become the ideal for rest of the humanity to follow? But one thing is distinctly different. What is it? One thing is distinctly different. What is it? Sita was in bliss. With all our knowledge of right and wrong and fighting for justice and etc., we are in shoka. Proof of the pudding is in the eating. We are fighting for justice and injustice and right and wrong and dharma, adharma, all, and then sitting and crying in depression. She walked into the fire and came out unhurt. I will want to know what Sita did to enter fire and come out unhurt, not to worry about rest of it. You follow? With this, I conclude for today. We'll continue next week. You follow?